You are now entering the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.
Coming to you from the Bob Studios, it's the History of Bad Ideas podcast with your host, Jason Brigger and Jeff Now.
Welcome to History of Bad Ideas, episode number 38. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Blake.
And with us in the studio is Jeff Morris. He's back.
Yes, well-known penis expert.
Well, I was going to say thank you for having me. I think I'm leaving. Bye.
I would not go out there. We have stalkers outside. You can see them through the window. It's pretty scary. So, you have set the record for the longest break between a guest. You were in here in March for the Oscars, and then you took some months off, and now you're back here in September. So, you set a record.
Movie season's starting up again.
It is. We're ready.
And ghost season's about to start.
Tell us about how you did on the puppetry of the penis exhibition.
I'm not sure I have any idea what you're talking about.
Blake does love floppies. We are the Canadian Penis Show. Anyways, moving on. We're on Musings of Geek Network. We're on Geek Life Radio at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Hawaii, noon Canadian Mountain Rocky time.
Sure. On Fridays.
On Fridays.
Plus 6 in Western Europe.
That's right. So, well, anyway, so Jeff, you're in here. You got something coming up that History of Bad Ideas is going to be recording from?
Yes, on October 4th, I am throwing a paranormal festival in Miamitown, Ohio. We'll have a bunch of psychics and ghost hunting groups, and we'll have Jody Cook there from Monster Quest, and he was on some Travel Channel shows too. I'm not sure exactly which ones, but he's written some books, and it's usually a lot of fun. We do it every year.
You got some clairvoyants?
We have some mediums.
Okay.
I don't know.
What's the difference?
I'm not sure what a clairvoyant is, unless... I'm not sure.
Okay.
Mediums talk with the dead. I know that.
Clairvoyance is where people can see things through other people's eyes. Clairaudience is listening through other ears. And if you play Dungeons and Dragons, you'd fucking know that, Jason.
My bad.
What Blake said.
This is real, though. We're actually going to this.
Oh, okay. But what is different?
I'm buying that.
All right, but a clairvoyant versus a medium. A medium, what?
Talks to the
transfers.
I thought
Transfers or possessions or talks through the dead, or the dead talks through
talk
them.
through
That's
them,
why
yes.
they're the medium.
They're the medium, yeah.
Right?
They do communicate with the dead. Is all I really know. I'm not really into that half of it. I'm more the, I guess, the other half of
The ghost hunting?
ghosts.
So
Where
you're
I'm
more-
looking for the ghosts. They don't talk to me yet. I'm still trying to find them.
So you're more in the other half. Like, what do you actively do when you go out and do your stuff?
We bring all kinds of equipment like audio recorders and video cameras and things like that, and we try to actually catch a ghost on film or on audio. And remarkably, it actually happens on audio more than you'd think. Like if you bring while you're recording your show, it's in a haunted building. Maybe you'll get some ghost voices on your recording.
This is a brand new studio. I really hope there's no ghost here.
No, he's talking about
on the
4th at the fest.
Are we going to be outside or inside?
You'll be inside.
In a haunted building, though.
In the haunted
Oh,
building.
now I'm really intrigued. I'm a little scared now. I thought we were going to be outside.
Although I just blame the wind, so.
Red Rum.
My skepticism, that's just the wind.
I did not know we were inside. Oh, that makes it more exciting. Okay.
You will be inside.
Great. So we're going to have the podcast and you just hear somebody, get out.
Exactly.
That might turn me into a believer.
You won't hear it, but
I
the people
will
who
in
are
the
listening
playback
to
when we
it
edit.
will hear it.
What was your most hair-raising experience? And I say that with a joke because he's mostly bald.
Wow. Calling him out. Wow.
I'm almost bald too, okay? It's okay.
No. So no, what was the one most freakiest thing that made you almost pee your pants?
I don't really have any stories where ghosts jump out at me or anything like that. Most scared I've ever been when I was doing the ghost stuff was I don't know if I told the story last time I was on, but I was at the Mansfield Penitentiary, which is an old abandoned prison. They do ghost hunting, or they do ghost tours and stuff there. And they gave us the run of the place. All the lights are out, and they have these cell blocks, and they're like 5 stories high. So I'm walking down one of these cell blocks. I think it's the 4th story, so it's a 40-foot drop down to the concrete floor to below. Aisles about as wide as my hips, and there's a railing on the right, of course, but it comes up to about my knee. So I'm walking down this real skinny walkway on this cell block, and it's pitch black, and then there's all these cells on the left, and I'm thinking, if a ghost were to jump out of one of those cells, I'm going over this railing. Whether or not it's somebody jumping out trying to scare me or something, but that walk down there was probably the most scared I've ever been, and it wasn't really because of a ghost. I'm really, when I go out there, I really want to see a ghost, and it's not something that really scares me, and I bring stuff home from these haunted places that they let me to try to haunt my house, because it'd be a lot easier to just try to go to my house than
Just break out the Ouija board in the basement.
Sorry, honey, we're going to have a ghost here.
The Mansfield prison. I thought you were going to say you're walking down, it's pitch black, and you heard something say, I'm going to make you my bitch. I said, yeah, that freaked me out
That
too.
was back in the 30s. I think that was more like, yeah, I'm going to make you my bitch. Yeah.
got a pretty mouth.
Copper. I like how you're trying to haunt your own house. I like that.
Would you actually, like, invite spirits in? I mean...
I think I would be scared to death of
You
that.
think so?
I would, yeah.
But
As long as it's a nice, funny one.
Jason would just be embarrassed by the ghost seeing what he does in private. That's why.
Oh, I'm not embarrassed by that.
Oh.
I do that in front of open windows.
Well, remember your
Also,
dead,
Doctor Number One probably sees it all the time.
remember your dead grandmas and grandpas can watch everything you're doing, so stop masturbating, Jason.
So you wanted a friendly ghost? What do you want, Bill Cosby, Ghost Dad? Is that what you want?
it's very rare that ghosts actually kill people. So if you have a ghost in your house, you can just set up the cameras, get the evidence, make your $1 million, and
That's right. They usually want you to solve things like how they were murdered, put things straight, right?
I did meet the woman who Ghost Whisperer, the Jennifer Love Hewitt show.
Really?
Like, that was based on her true story.
Oh, then you meant Jennifer Love Hewitt.
No, not Jennifer Love Hewitt.
He meant
the
Tara
actual,
Reid. He's met Tara
the
Reid,
actual
but not Tara
woman
Reid.
whose name escapes me. She actually writes for my publisher.
Was she as good looking as Jennifer Love Hewitt?
I'm not
At liberty to say.
I'm
Moving
not going
on,
to
yes.
say. I'm
Did
not
she
going to
have
talk about
big
how,
enough breasts as Jennifer Love Hewitt?
That's
Sounded
not
like-
something that I'm going to going to talk about. She does.
I'm trying to get a visual here, guys. Come on, help me.
Well, you can pull her up on the internet if you wanted
Okay.
to. Yeah, I did meet her, and she.
Does she still do the ghost?
She
whisper?
sees the ghosts, and she doesn't really like to talk about it because everybody always asks her, like, are there any ghosts here? Yeah, of course there's ghosts here.
That would
Well,
be
tell
the-
me about them. I'm not going to tell you about them. They don't want me
Here,
to tell
they're
you about
everywhere.
them.
That would be the
So,
most annoying gift. Like, oh, you're the ghost whisperer. Hey, I bet you haven't heard this one before.
He's like, you know what? Can I at least take a shit in private, please? Can you go
nope,
through
there's
the door?
somebody right there.
Can you go away through the door? Leave me some privacy.
So that is October 4th,
October 4th,
Miamitown, Ohio. We
10
will
to
be
5.
there. 10 to 5.
We're at exactly in Miamitown, Ohio.
It'll be going on through the whole town. I'm not real clear on everybody who's coming and exactly what's going on. I know there'll be a cook-off at some point. I think there's a costume contest, pumpkin carving contest.
Ooh, yay!
I like
Is there a website people can go to and look it up?
There's a Facebook page.
There's a Facebook page.
Miamitown Paranormal.
Miamitown Parafest.
Yeah, I think it is Parafest.
Miamitown Parafest.
Okay.
And we'll put a link on our
I came
Facebook page.
completely unprepared for
That's okay.
No, you were prepared. You got your top 5 done. That's all that
That's
really
all we
matters.
ask.
My
That's
top
all we
5.
need. Your top 5. That's right.
No, we'll put a link to it on
Serbian
our
film
Facebook
is not
page.
on it.
Never mention Serbian film
Yeah, I
again.
thought we agreed Serbian film was off limits.
I told you it's not on it.
Now, have you written any new books lately? I know you were looking at places last time you were on here.
Last September I came out with Chicago, but that's my most recent
Okay.
one. And I haven't written any since then. I'm still the publisher gave me a few to choose from, and I'm still looking for co-authors in those cities to work with.
Toledo, Ohio. It's a magical place.
It's a swamp.
It is.
Magical vacation
Just
place.
don't drink the
apparently.
water.
Jeff, you've been there for vacation.
I've been there
Mr.
for
Now?
vacation many times.
Yeah.
It's a now family vacation destination.
So, Jeff, thank you for coming. Anytime you want to plug your books, your festival, anything, just throw it out there. We're not too worried about that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. October 4th, Miamitown Parafest.
Blake will be there.
Yes.
Jeff will be there. Jeff Morris will be there. I'll be there. And best color man in the business, Nick. Wake up, Nick. There you go.
There he is.
Put the gimp back.
Don't take his gag, ball gag out of it.
Let's see. So, listener feedback. Who's to start with?
Number one fan, Doug.
Actually, he gave up the rule this week to Amy from Cultural Babble.
Well, he purposely did?
Yes.
He said Amy could be the number one?
Just this week. She gets the question.
Oh, okay.
Please never speak so specifically about penises ever again.
Well,
That was not a question.
well, we just said feedback, not question.
That's true.
This is more of a statement.
The answer
Or a
will be, yeah, probably not.
Everybody loves floppies. Hey, we're being equal here.
That's
we
right.
talk about women's breasts. We talk about men's floppies. It's all equal.
So we're an equal opportunity podcast.
That's right. My real question is, will I get swag when I visit the show next week? No. Okay.
But we'll talk about some floppies.
That's right.
We can give her a business card.
Yeah, we'll give her a business.
That counts as swag in my
Maybe a
book.
picture with all of us.
Oh, yeah, we can let her take it.
And we'll sign it.
Or we could draw stick figures of ourselves and give them to her.
That works.
There you go.
That works. Let's see. Which
With big balls?
With big floppy ball.
She's got big balls, and he's got big balls.
But
She's got the biggest balls of them all. AC/DC, thank you very much.
there you go. All their songs sound alike, you know that.
Yes.
Yeah, but only one talks about big balls.
We are learning, earning the explicit tag this week. Which of Batman's features were most important in his choice to be a vigilante? Loads of money, being an orphan, or can-do attitude?
I think if you have loads of money, you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, the decision to do it was probably the, orphan thing, but the ability to do it is the loads of money.
But you know what? He needs drive and motivation, so that can-do dude is important.
So they're all equal? Is that what
Morris,
you're saying?
what do you got?
I think it's all the orphan thing. I think without
do
the
too.
orphan thing, there would be no Batman. There'd be no
He would be a
idea
doctor
of
like his
Batman.
dad.
He would, not even a doctor, a playboy.
He'd be a
Millionaire.
spoiled brat. Yeah,
But
exactly.
if he was a poor kid living in the Narrows whose parents were killed, he couldn't become Batman.
He could.
Batman costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to be Batman.
I'm not saying he would be Batman a long time because he would probably be killed without all the armor and all that, but he could be a poor Batman.
I think that leads to a very important question. What is the poor man's version of Batman? What comic book hero out there would be the poor version of Batman?
Wow.
Dr. Midnight?
Putting us on the... Was he poor?
I don't know.
He's got he's got superhuman abilities.
That's a good question. Could you go? I don't know.
Man, maybe we should post that up and get some answers from people.
Poor man's Batman.
Poor man's Batman. Yeah, well, listeners, tweet us what you think is the poor man's Batman.
At Bad Ideas Podcast. Okay, Doug, he wants to know if Jeff wore a Speedo on the beach during our vacation episode.
Why would I wear a Speedo on a nude beach?
I don't know what beach you were on, but I was not there for that one.
Oh, that wasn't the nude beach?
No.
Was there a lot of shrinkage?
Plenty of shrinkage. And when you don't have a whole lot to begin with, it's real embarrassing. Oh, I'm not Idris Elba.
Did you know that about Idris Elba, Miss Morris? It goes past his knee. Moving on.
He's so embarrassed, his forehead is blushing.
Yes, he is blushing. He's like, I just came on to talk about the Paranormal Festival.
Paranormal, you're talking about
Talking about
penises?
penises.
What the hell's going on?
I think
did I
he might
get
agree
myself
with
into?
Amy on less penis talk.
It's a whole lot different show than last time you were on.
That's
I
'cause
I
Blake
wasn't
showed up.
prepared for the penis thing.
Should have sent that to you in the outline.
I think you did, and I still didn't see it coming.
Bump, bump, bump.
I'm going to say that's what she says.
Who would you like to see cast as Supergirl in the new TV show? Which got a straight-to-series pickup.
I saw that. I still agree with go for unknowns. So, I mean, if Somebody I don't know. That's who I want to see.
But isn't Supergirl normally a tall, leggy blonde?
Yeah,
usually.
But she has some muscle. Like, she's got to be muscular. That's the thing.
But she doesn't have to be, well, you know, Hayden Panettiere. There you go.
Actually, wouldn't be bad if she was taller.
Well, I'd rather. I mean, just someone who's already played Supergirl. I mean, Laura Vandervoort, who played her on Smallville, would do a well job. But I'd say start fresh.
Kristen
get a
Wiig?
new face. No, no, not Kristen Wiig. We need someone a little younger because she's Supergirl,
Not Superwoman.
Exactly.
So you need about 18 to 21.
So what you're saying is ageism? Is that what you're saying?
I
You're
am saying
discriminating
ageism.
against older women?
You're allowed.
I was going to say Betty White.
There you go.
You're allowed to discriminate ageism in Hollywood. Apparently, that's a rule that they don't have to follow.
A young
racism.
A young B. Arthur would work.
Unfortunately, B. Arthur isn't young or alive.
Well, that's why I said a young B. Arthur would have worked.
Yeah, but
B.
okay.
Arthur's
So
dead?
we'll go back to the 60s or the 50s and get a young B. Arthur. How's that?
Oh, wait, I was thinking of Maude.
Well, she was Maude.
That is.
She's dead?
Yeah, B. Arthur's died.
Oh.
Each of the Golden Girls died like one a year for the last 3 years.
Except for Betty.
Yeah,
No,
I
Betty's
think she's
still
done.
alive, and Estelle Getty died a little bit ago, but.
Yeah, but Betty's got Betty White's got the best quote, talking about tough as grow a pair of balls. She talks about, you should say vagina because those things take a pounding and keep moving. I didn't say it. Betty White said that. It's an internet meme. Look it up.
Wow.
Said, why be tough as balls or grow a pair of balls? She said you should be, grow a vagina because those things take a pounding and keep on bending back.
Well, Betty White was on a great Saturday Night Live skit, the Dusty Muffin.
Oh,
Delicious
yes.
Dusty
When
Muffin.
she's on the radio show.
Yeah,
and
kind of, the sequel to the Sweaty Balls.
Sweaty Balls with
She
the-
did the Dusty Muffin.
from the Dit Man, your radio host.
Dit Man.
The Dit Man in the morning. Blake and the Dit Man.
Blake and the Dit Man.
Let's see here. Oh, that was actually me. Why does...
I think that word's supposed to be Blake.
Yes. Why does Blake have an unhealthy infatuation with the male genitalias and the
Genitalias?
unaroused form?
Male genitalias?
I like the genitalias.
I eat there every day.
And why such a creepy laugh? I don't know. There it
Is my creepy laugh?
I don't know.
I think
Or
it's
is it
all.
one of your guys' creepy laugh?
I think he's all on you there, Blake.
Oh, okay.
And he's your co-host. He should know this stuff. Dit Man.
Oh. You mean the infatuation with male genitals, not genitalias.
Take a drink. First word I mispronounced. From Neil, Glistening Neil at Dark Angels Pretty Freaks. Do you say Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas? That's not geek related.
It doesn't have to be geek related.
Oh, okay.
Although
I think that's that sectarian, non-sectarian political correctness.
Well, kinda
You don't want to offend people who aren't Christian that celebrate Christmas.
it all depends on who I'm talking to and what I'm talking about.
True.
If I'm talking about specifically Christmas, then yeah, have a Merry Christmas. Now, granted, that means have a very happy December 25th. Happy Holidays pretty much covers
Everything.
everything. Pretty much from the early December all the way through the New Year and whatnot. So,
Okay.
Well, I celebrate Atheist Children Get Presents Day on December 25th.
okay, so
And I
should
still say Merry Christmas.
There you go.
I like the atheist.
That sneaky Christian thing
I
sneaking
think I
in.
stole
Even though
that
you're
from
an
somewhere, but
atheist,
I'm
it
not
still
sure.
sneaks in.
You should own it. Just own it.
I'm pretty sure I stole it from somewhere. It might have been The Simpsons. I don't know.
I do remember confronting you about the whole you love celebrating Christmas, yet you are not a believer in Christ. And you're like, but I get presents. I'm like, okay, I have no argument to that.
Morris is the same guy that was wondering why there was no backstory to the Passion of the Christ movie. Why are they whipping him? And who is he?
No, there was no
no,
character development.
There was no
there-
character
Yeah,
development.
there's backstory, no character
There
development.
really wasn't in the movie. If you didn't know who Jesus was, that
Yeah.
is true. You were at a disadvantage.
Exactly.
And then Jeff read the book and he was still lost at it.
The Bible?
Yes.
That's the book.
What kind of candy do you give out at Halloween? I give out good candy.
The free kind.
Blake gives out ones with razor blades.
I put an empty bowl on the porch with a sign that says "Take one."
I don't do that anymore.
Anymore?
No, I did that one year. It was right before the neighborhood thing started. I had to go. There was a girls' soccer game, and I was like, "We're new to the neighborhood."
Oh, that's a good way to introduce.
I'm gonna, screw this. Yeah, I just bought the house. Introduce myself in the neighborhood, but we're not here. I don't be those stingy bastards. I want kids to have candy. So I put a big bucket. I had like 10 bags of candy. I poured it in there. A little sign said, "Take one, please. Happy Halloween." And I left the house, and the Hollywood trick-or-treat started like in 5 minutes. I got up the road, turned left a mile, and I said, "Oh crap, I forgot something." I turned around, came back, I came up the road, I hopped out of my car, got on my front porch, and the damn thing was empty already.
Yeah.
I mean, some kids came up there, the first ones there, and they took the entire damn bucket of candy.
Well, you said take one.
Yeah. Yes, one.
Take one bucket.
Yeah, take one bucket.
Not 500.
No. I put the empty bowl out and say take one, so when people show up, they assume people
People have
took
already
them
been
all.
there before.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder why your house is egged.
My house is always the scariest in the neighborhood, and I
Yes.
get all decked out and all scary, and the kids, sometimes they run away screaming and trip over my headstones in the yard and everything, but it's hilarious when that happens. But beyond that, the candy that I give away is just normal candy.
Skittles, Starburst.
I buy the bags and I hand them out. And then once one of the dads was walking the kid up, "No, you got to go up." And he's like, no, I'm too scared. And the dad's like, "All of these houses, the scary houses, have the best candy."
Now you feel bad.
And now I'm feeling bad.
Here's your
Because
nickel,
I'm about to
son.
scare the crap
Here's
out of
your
this
orange.
little kid. And I'm going to give him a little thing of Skittles that he could get at any of these other houses. In fact, he could probably ask for an extra thing of Skittles at the next house, and they'd probably give it to him. And he wouldn't have to go through the trauma that he would remember when he's 20 years old of me scaring the crap out of him.
Well, my house is the scary house in the subdivision too. We just moved here last year, and I thought, oh, this is going to be great. Everybody's going to decorate. I was the only scary house in the whole freaking subdivision. And my wife goes, "Well, welcome to the neighborhood. We just alienated everybody." We had 4 kids that did not want to come up to our house, and they walked past us. I was excited.
You won.
Yes, I
You
did.
beat those
I had a
kids.
fog machine. I got my fog machine out. It was great. Finally got my fog machine last year. I was thrilled. So
I have this animatronic clown that comes to life when somebody comes up on the porch, and they can't see it before they come up on the porch. So
I like that.
Well, don't you have a mummy or something, Jay?
I got a mummy, a 6-foot-tall mummy that moans. I got a ghost that goes on a string across the yard.
Is it a real ghost?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The clairvoyant got it for me. She helps. But yeah, it's the same thing. I could, bag candy, but I do the better ones. I do the blow pops. I love blow pops.
Most kids don't.
I don't care. I'm giving them out, so they'll be happy to get
you
what
can't
they
call
want.
them the good candies.
They are good candy.
Yeah, for you.
So I'm buying
apparently,
it.
being the scary house, you're expected to give the best candy.
Well, shit. I guess I gotta do that this year.
Just hand out nickels. There you go, son.
Orange.
Hand out pennies, because you can give 5 of them for every 1 nickel
We had
anybody
a
else
clink.
gives out.
We had a neighbor growing up that gave out oranges. It's like, really? This is going to come back at your house in about 2 hours when you go back inside.
You might as well just give us eggs.
Yes.
Give
know
out
what's gonna
apples with a
happen later,
razor
that's
blade
right.
slit in the side. Don't put the razor blade in. That would be wrong. But just put the slit in the side.
Or just take orange, just take little needles and fill them up with vodka. I think that would be awesome.
I remember growing up, my dad would stay at home when we go trick-or-treating, but he'd stay at home and he'd have the candy for the kids and have the beers for the adults.
Wow.
Yeah,
So they liked coming to my parents' house, although I was never there because I was always out getting candy.
You got rocks.
I hear Dad. I did get rocks. How did you know?
Got a rock.
I would hear Dad tell the story, so I'm like, well, gee, I was just getting candy. I could have stayed home and had beer. What? Why did
Back
I
in
know
the
this?
70s and 80s, parents gave their kids beer at that time.
They still do.
Yeah.
My ex used to take her kids out trick-or-treating and then bring a sippy cup with her and put beer in the sippy cup. so that everyone would think that she was carrying the sippy cup for the kid, but she would have beer to carry around with her trick-or-treating.
God. But ultimately, what I need to know is if Neil makes either limoncello, the crema de limoncello, or the aranciata.
Yes, Neil, let us know.
And I want to know the results.
Because Blake put up his recipe
That's
this
right.
week.
And he tagged you on Facebook. I saw that, so you have no excuse to say,
That's right.
I don't know.
So you can either wait 10 days, 30, 40, 60, whatever. But we want to know how it turns out.
Neil also wants to know, what is your favorite time of the year?
Personally, my favorite time of the year is probably right about now.
I'm with
End
you.
of the summer, beginning of the fall. Temperatures start going down before they get ridiculously cold. The fall in the Midwest, the trees turn colors, so they look beautiful. Before the leaves actually fall, because I fucking hate raking leaves.
I think my favorite time of year is probably around Halloween, that or around Atheist Children Get Presents Day.
I'm going to start sending cards out like that. Atheist Children's Get Presents Day. I agree. I starting in October, first week of October, all the way through Christmas is my favorite time. Because I hate summer. It's too hot, especially in the Midwest. It's too fucking hot.
I like baseball.
I like baseball too.
But
I don't want to sit in 99-degree temperatures
I like
to watch
watching.
it.
I like watching it in the air-conditioned house.
Yes, I agree. So yeah, I agree. It is the favorite time. It's starting.
My favorite time of year is, 5 minutes before the session started. Sometimes, hopefully people understand I say things for a reaction and not because I'm just an asshole.
You can send your complaints at Blake at his
There you go.
Okay, from Dr. Number One at Dr. Number One. Do you guys buy digital comics or do you go old school still?
Oh, old school. I don't
Old
even
school?
touch the digital for the most part.
Except for our
I can't
reviews.
buy. You can't buy digital comics.
Except for our reviews, where we get some independent reviews.
Well,
We get
yeah,
the digital
but-
version.
Well, yeah, they let us read those without paying money. I feel like I can't buy digital most things. I need to have the copy that I bought. I've never bought or downloaded a song online. I'll buy the CD and then download it onto my computer. I've never bought anything from iTunes.
I'm like the opposite. I can't do the animated porn. I need the digital porn.
Wait, we were talking comic books, not porn.
Oh,
my
sorry.
porn,
Wait a
porn
minute.
collection is completely different.
How about you, Mr. Guest? What do you
I was
like?
about to jump in, but I've lost my train of thought. I don't buy comics. I'm not the comic guy. I'm sorry, but I am a published author, and it's much like there are digital versions of my books, but
Yeah.
I don't have copies of them digitally. I don't. It's not the same as holding a copy of my own book in my hands.
Exactly.
It's you have that paper there. You could turn to a page, and it's completely different. I don't like the digital.
I'm going to ask you this, though. As being, the author or whatnot, is there a different percentage or a different amount of money you make for a digital sale versus the hardcover sale?
I make a lot more for the digital sale. I make a lot more percentage for from the digital sale. I don't even know money wise what that is because I think the digital are cheaper than
The digital are cheaper, and
paper.
there's a lot of obviously the printing process isn't involved. But I mean, it's like, do you get the same amount for each book sold, whether it's digital or whether it is?
No,
or do you
it's,
actually.
The contract has a different amount for digital sales. It's like this percentage of the profit after what it takes to make the actual hard copy,
okay.
and this percentage of and a higher percentage of the digital book, which is.
Yeah.
So you want people to read the digital, you just personally don't like it yourself.
So you want the digital, but you don't like it. See, I'm kind of like in that quandary too because,
I can't sign the digital.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I got an iPad in the spring because I had to, travel and go overseas and stuff, and so it's easier to take the iPad. And I got all my Game of Thrones books are on the iPad. So when I started reading all the stuff, and I'm like, it's nice to have it on the iPad. It's nice to have it in the digital, but I just miss that big book feeling in my hand with the print and the pages and etc. So I'm really kind of torn. If I want to keep buying digital or if I want to keep buying the paper.
And also, one of the things that I really just hate, like, you go down to read a book, you get in your comfy chair or you're laying in bed, and you just got a screen glowing on your face. It's like, I look at screens too much all day anyway. I'd rather just have paper looking at me. I'd rather have read a reflective surface, not a shining surface or whatnot. So, yeah, that's my answer.
You don't like that shock on your face when you're in your bed at night? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't like a whole lot of things on my face there, Blake. I don't know what you're going for, but no.
I need a pillow on my face because I don't want to wake up to the light coming through the window.
It's actually the just the shiningness of the screen shining into your eyes.
At night
it hurts your eyes.
It's different.
I know, like the original Nooks or whatever have the paperwhite thing, and that's actually pretty cool because it's not it doesn't produce its own light. You actually need ambient light to read those, and I think the Kindle has a new paperwhite, which I went, well, that's the old Nook, but that's my answer.
I think you still have my copy of American Psycho.
I probably do somewhere now that you mention it. Damn, now I feel bad because I have absolutely no clue where it's at.
You better find it before
It's
October
only been
4th.
10 years.
I've moved since then.
October 4th is your last chance to give it back to him. He came here tonight expecting his American Psycho back.
I've been really looking forward to getting that back for the last 10 years.
And I haven't even read it yet.
Okay, you can read it. It takes you 10 years to read it.
Now I gotta find it. Oh man, I forgot all about. Now I feel guilty.
Well, Jason's had my copy of that Bjork movie for much longer.
Bjork made a movie?
Bjork made a movie? What movie was that?
It was Dancer in the Dark, I think it was called.
I ain't that movie.
As Jason comes back into the studio,
I know she's made a lot of bad videos, but I didn't know she made a movie.
You had that movie? Was that the copy you borrowed from Jeff and
Yes.
had it returned?
I think I might still have it.
And you said had?
We looked for that last time.
I don't think we have it. I think I owe you it. Are we on the geek news yet?
No. We were still discussing the.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about things that people have borrowed from me and haven't returned.
Oh. Well, let's get to the
Blake
geek
has
news.
not borrowed anything from me and not returned it.
Not yet.
Just the dignity.
Just your dignity.
Okay, let's get to the news of the geek.
It's time for another installment of the News of the Geek.
Bob Studio edition. No Florida edition.
Not a Florida edition anymore.
No. We can make a Jeff Morris edition. No,
I'm not exactly sure how that works.
I don't know. He's a guest. I was just trying to make him feel welcomed after Blake scared him.
I think it was your penis talk that originally scared him.
No. This is Blake. He's a new addition. He wasn't here in March when you were here. Marvel's Doctor Strange, directed by Scott Derrickson, with a script by John Syphilis, will be released on July. Whatever.
You just lost him as a potential guest in the future, you realize.
I mean, Spates?
That might be it. Spanx will be released on July 8th, 2016. Joaquin Phoenix is still said to be in final talks for the role, but nothing has been confirmed yet. Thoughts?
I like Joaquin Phoenix.
I think Joaquin Phoenix will do a good job playing Doctor Strange.
I think I really like him. He's a great method actor. When he takes on a role, he becomes that person in that role.
And honestly, John Spates is one of my favorite scriptwriters, and I can't believe you just called him Mr. Syphilis.
What did he write?
I have no clue.
Do we have a list of people who will never appear on the show? Tara Reid.
John Syphilis.
John Spates.
Apparently, John Noble won't ever be
John
on here.
Noble.
Nicaraguans.
No, Mexicans.
Dear God. I don't even. Well, you pissed off Steven Spielberg last time.
Oh, that's a good thing. You know?
I kind of agree with Mr. Morris on that. I don't know if we even want Steven Spielberg.
I'd rather have
as a
Spielberg
guest.
than George Lucas. Oh, you see what I did here? I wrote into a corner.
George
and then I
Lucas.
Just decided... Fuck George Lucas.
Hey, but come on, he's the director of Howard the Duck.
Fuck him. Let's see. Fox says...
You know, of all the beautiful, good things he's done, he's got Howard the Duck on the list. Everybody's got that skeleton in the closet movie that they wish they'd never done.
I was going to say the prequels to the
You know,
Star
or
Wars
the
series.
prequel- Or the prequels, yeah.
Are you an angel? Fuck you, George Lucas. Fox has announced a release date for Deadpool, which will be possibly rated PG-13. Now they're saying it may not be. Maybe rated R.
It better be.
Slated for February 12th, 2016, and Ryan Reynolds will return.
Whoa, February. So it's going to be Valentine's
Yes.
Day. Wow.
Told my wife, guess where we're going for Valentine's Day in 2 years? Deadpool. Because I think that romance, I think Deadpool. So, and they said the reason why that got pushed up by Fox so much is because of that test footage that they sent out, or that was leaked. Got such a good review that they decided, it's like, really? This is what everybody was saying anyways.
Everyone was telling you to do a damn movie and don't fuck it up. That's all they were asking for.
And then I think they said Fantastic Four got moved from June or July until August now.
Oh, okay. I knew it got pushed back, but
Yeah,
a
everybody was
month or
going
two?
nuts on it, and I was like, was it a year or two? No, it was like a month and a half. So, do you know who Deadpool is, Morris?
I do not.
He was in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
The guy with the swords for the arms.
Yeah. He's an assassin.
No, but ignore what you know about Deadpool
That
from
is
that
true.
movie. They just screwed up the character so bad in that movie.
He basically talks, he breaks the fourth wall, and he talks to the audience in the comic books. So it's kind of like, it's going to be very interesting if they do that in the movies. So I'm hoping they do, but you don't see many breaking the wall movies.
So Deadpool deadpans to the fourth wall.
Yes.
Does he actually have swords for arms?
No, he doesn't have swords for arms. He uses swords.
He uses swords.
Swords. That's
Is he
swords.
a mutant from the X-Men?
He is a mutant.
Well, I don't think he is a mutant. He
he?
was experimented on in the Weapon X project.
And really, who hasn't?
But as far as I know, his abilities aren't innate mutant abilities, but he gained them through the Weapon X project.
Because he can regenerate, can't he?
He regenerate. Well, that's the thing. He's. I think he volunteered for the project because he pretty much had a uncurable form of cancer, which was accelerated by the project, but also he got a healing factor. So the healing factor is keeping the cancer from killing him, but he still is. That's why he wears a mask and everything, because he's pretty disfigured because of all the cancerous cells.
I was wondering why he was
visual.
I was wondering why he was like disfigured and everything.
So does he have a motivation?
Money.
Yeah, money is pretty much
He's
it.
a hitman for hire for the most
So
part.
he's a bad guy?
He's a good guy. In a way.
He's a bad guy who people like, so he kind of became a good guy, even though
He'll kill
pretty much-
anybody for money. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he's a hitman for hire.
So. Let's see. Blake, you look thrilled with Deadpool.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad is one of the DC comic films with a release date placeholder, says Variety, with David Ayer as WB's pick to direct the movie. They cite Ayer's dark and edgy eye as a fit for the movie. Anybody know who David Ayer is?
No, I want you to tell me.
I didn't find that
What
information.
dark and edgy eye does he have worked with in the past?
Annie, the new Annie remake. Maybe that was it.
Alright, fuck that.
I'm just guessing.
I'm guessing he did Annie. I don't know.
The new version.
Wow.
With dark and edgy. Talk about racist. The new Annie's black, by the way. In this one.
Yeah, with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
It still looks bad. You
So
know
they
why?
say dark and edgy.
You know why?
Why?
Because Annie's a stupid fucking musical. I hate that musical. Oh my god.
It's a hard knock
David
life,
Ayer
man.
directed End of Watch, if that helps.
With
I
Is
don't
that a
know.
Schwarzenegger film?
no, I don't think so. That was with
Well, that was End of Days.
yeah, that was End of Days. End of Watch was the recent one with Jake Gyllenhaal. He was a cop, I think.
Oh, he did the movie coming out, Fury, that's coming out in a couple weeks.
Fury.
Isn't that the what's
The
his
Brad Pitt?
The Brad Pitt World War II movie.
I didn't see a preview for that.
Oh, they've been all over the last couple
I
of
missed
days.
that.
Oh, okay.
Does it look good?
It actually does, but every time I see the preview for it, I want him to say, "I'm hunting Nazis." So I can't get past him
Nazis?
in previous World War II movie. He did Sabotage, End of Watch, Street Kings, and Harsh Times.
Okay. Let's see here. New X-Men Apocalypse film news. Apocalypse takes place a decade after Days of Future Past.
Well, that's not news.
Excuse me.
I mean, that's been out for at least 6 months.
Has unleashed a new and uniquely powerful enemy because of the alternating of time from the last movie. Let's see here. It looks like it's going to be Charles, Magneto, Wolverine, Mystique, and Beast are joined by a young Cyclops, Storm, Jean Grey, and possibly others.
Yeah, I think they were recasting for
Everything.
younger versions of the people.
Huh. That's interesting. I did not know. I thought it was going to be James Marsden again.
Yeah, they're recasting for the younger versions of everyone but Wolverine. That's still going to be Hugh Jackman.
Okay. And
Because, he's the only one unaffected by that whole time travel thing.
That's true. And, well, he's already like 200 years old anyway. He just doesn't age as fast as everybody else.
Morris, did you see the new X-Men movie?
I did not.
I haven't either. Blake didn't like it too much.
No.
And finally, did everybody watch Gotham?
Yes.
Yes.
Thoughts?
It was an introduction,
Yes.
so I'm holding off. It's enough to make me want to see more, but it just pretty much didn't excite me as in like, oh my god, did you see this happen? Did you see that happen? Because I suppose it's just the introduction, so nothing big happened in my opinion.
It did seem like there was a lot of, hey, look, we are introducing this character before they became the bad guy.
Yes.
And I did kind of like the idea of the Riddler being the forensic expert.
Yeah, I did like that too.
I was going to ask if that was the guy because he did start off with a riddle.
Yes.
That Gordon answered.
Yeah.
Did Gordon answer it? I missed that part.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
okay.
answered.
Well, he
No.
asked one riddle, and then Bullock yelled at him, "Duh, just give us don't give us
Well,
riddles."
I saw that part.
And then then he said another riddle after that, and Gordon just answered it right away off the cuff.
It was like the answer was nothing. Like, what is something that is always there unless there's something there? It's like nothing. Unless there is something. I guess something along those lines.
I don't know exactly what was said. It went by pretty quick.
It was pretty witty and pretty quick. I'd give it a B overall because I like the fact they're doing origin stories, that kind of fun stuff. And James Gordon, I like kind of like the direction they've taken with him. And I also like the fact that it's like a reboot of Gotham, but it's modern times because he's got a cell phone and it's not like anything retro.
Yeah.
Well, how
going back to
modern
the
times is
40s.
it? Because it is a flip phone.
Well, they did say, I think it was Donald Loge. He said, well, if you took away the cell phones, they said you could watch this and think it could take place in the 1940s or it could take place in now. Yeah. He said it really is kind of...
It had a little film noir.
Yeah.
Film noir to it. I do like the fact that they're introducing a lot of characters. Since it is network television, they try and establish those character relationships real fast in like 2 lines of dialogue.
Yeah.
So it comes across a little campy at times.
I think they tried to introduce too many characters right
That's
away.
what I was going to ask.
I mean, because and I thought some things moved quick because it's like, okay, it's going to be a long burn for a show, and I just thought in the first episode, Penguin has already betrayed Fish, and she already caught on, and they already think they took care of the situation. I'm like, that was a whole lot from that storyline. Was something that could have been a long burn, but they did it all in the first episode.
The Penguin I thought was the best character.
Which it moved kind of quick though, which was like, oh, okay, that's Cobblepot. Oh, that's
Poison Ivy.
Catwoman. Oh, that's going to be Poison Ivy. It almost was like I had to stop. Okay, it was commercial. And I was like, okay, let me think about that episode that just happened. Who was that? The guy that asked the riddles to be? Is that going to be the Riddler? Okay, obviously Catwoman is Catwoman because they make it pretty obvious. Although Catwoman seems to get around all over that damn city without a car.
Yeah, I
pretty
do
well.
agree. She got to Wayne Manor pretty
She got to
quick.
Wayne Manor. Like what? She hanging on the trunk of Gordon's car, or what's going on there?
Maybe she was.
the poor man's Batman.
There you go. Did you like it, Morris?
I think I like how he put it. I'm holding off judgment. It seemed like they were just throwing a lot of characters out there, and
all at once,
and it was
taking a drink from a fire hydrant. And you're like, ah.
That's a good way of putting it. I want a little bit. Wow, Jason.
What?
No.
Moving on.
I want to get a drink from the water fountain, and they gave me a fire hose.
My issue was they were hanging upside down in the meat packing plant, and it was too like whimsical. Oh, ha ha ha! You know, how are we going to get out of this one? Oh, it's crazy, like with Gordon and it's like,
you don't know how you're going to react when you're in that situation.
I had an issue with that part because the whole thing was serious, and then
you wanted them to be like screaming and begging for their lives, but those characters wouldn't do that.
No, but I didn't think they would be kidding with each other like that.
The stand-up comedian wasn't supposed to be the Joker, was he?
They said,
what was the stand-up comedian
They
guy?
said there's going to be hints of the Joker throughout the whole show season, but there's never going to be the same guy. So you really don't know who the Joker is. And that's what I thought too. That was the first inclination I thought. But they said the Joker's probably not coming for a while.
So I like the fact that they're not just regurgitating things completely.
Yeah.
They're taking some artistic liberties, so you don't know who killed the Waynes.
And in the books, you don't know.
We may never know. Yeah.
So didn't we get a tweet or whatever today where someone was asking...
Dr. Number One.
Dr. Number One did?
Asked if... how great would it be if they killed Bruce Wayne in the opening thing as a shocker? And I thought about that. I actually think that would have been funny and turn the whole thing, because this is not related to the movies, so you can do anything you want. Mm-hmm. So how great would it have been if the mom and Bruce Wayne were killed, and Thomas Wayne goes on his vengeful thing, and he becomes Batman.
Oh, I thought it would have been great if it was Gotham. They killed all the Waynes, and so now the story can start completely new and fresh. You don't even have Batman.
And it's all just about James Gordon.
What happened? And Gordon can actually succeed because the world isn't going to get Batman. Now Gordon can actually succeed because he's going to fail because Batman in 10, 12 years or however long it takes Bruce to grow up will become Batman. It's like, well, now you don't know what's going to happen.
I did think Ben McKenzie did a hell of a job as Gordon.
I agree with that.
I like James Gordon. I liked him.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important because you're supposed to like him. And he stays good guy even at the very end when he's, his hands being forced to be a bad guy. But like I was saying, I was like, pause reference. So, some confusion and stuff because like my wife's like, they kept calling Harvey Bullock. She's like, is that Harvey Two-Face?
Oh.
And I was like, no, that's just a different guy. Donald Loge, I like his character. He's a dirtbag, but I always liked Donald Loge from back when he was the Dow Steve. That's Dow is in Chinese, not stock exchange. Back in that movie, and
I was happy they had Renee Montoya's character in there.
Yeah, which one is Renee Montoya?
She's Internal Affairs. No.
Yeah.
Major Crimes.
Major Crimes.
She's Major Crimes.
Now,
who is Renee Montoya?
She, in the comic books, is a basically. I think
she started out, I think, as a detective in the thing, and she became the Question.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Oh, I liked that.
No,
she was a better question than the original Question.
Who's the Question?
It's a pointless character.
A pointless evil character?
No,
good guy. Good guy. She became. All right, there's Barbara Keene.
I thought was the weak link.
Now, Barbara Keene, Gordon's girlfriend.
I didn't like Alfred. I thought Alfred was terrible.
Yeah,
I thought the acting was bad, and I didn't feel the
connection.
The fatherly figure. I didn't feel protected by Alfred. Like I always did in the other Batman movies.
Like Michael Caine. Some people just want to watch the world burn.
But
he's no Michael Caine.
He didn't have time to become fatherly yet. I mean, he was just a butler before. Now that Bruce actually lost his father, he's got to learn to become a father.
But all the other movies, they did have Alfred right when Bruce's parents died, and I always felt a connection, like Bruce had a connection with him before that happened. And this, I didn't. He felt real distant, and he feels real awkward, I think.
Well, that's English. Oh, now I just offended all the English listeners.
We have listeners. I did think it was. I did like the his quote though when Alfred came to get Bruce at the murder scene. He goes, "Stand tall, don't cry." Basically, don't cry, just stand tall and walk. Don't give them anything to give, like the media or anything. So I thought that was kind of a cool way of saying just buck through it. Basically, put your emotions aside.
Well, I'm not saying his dialogue was bad.
No,
saying that his acting was bad.
I agree with you. I thought Alfred was a little weak. I like it though. I mean, I definitely am going to watch it all season.
But what was Barbara Keene before she was an art collector?
I have no idea.
Because that's what's her name referenced. Like
she becomes
what you were before. Don't you tell Gordon?
Well, I guess that means that she was with Renee Montoya before, because Montoya's a lesbian.
Yeah.
So
it's very possible, but
that's what I thought was that they were lovers before she.
Oh, that's the question I had. Was his wife named Barbara? Because
Yeah,
the daughter's named Barbara.
Well, we're talking in the comics.
I
don't know.
I mean, it's like, is she Barbara Jr. who eventually becomes Batgirl?
That's weird. Yeah, I don't know.
That's why I was like, it's like
Barbara Keene is her name in the
this.
series.
Yeah, well,
but in the comic books, they have a daughter named Barbara. That is weird. I don't know if you.
Yeah, but Barbara Gordon, Commissioner Gordon's daughter, becomes the first Batgirl.
Yeah.
And I just always thought that was weird because it didn't in the movies, wasn't his wife named Barbara too?
I don't remember.
In like the Dark Knight or whatnot, I thought he called his wife Barbara, and they didn't even give a name to the daughter. So I don't know what was going on there.
Okay, so there you go. There's our review of what do you call it, Gotham. So I'll keep watching.
I shall watch episode 2.
Yes. And there's your News of the Geek.
Wow, it's time to grab your balls of fury. It's Plotlines with Jeff and Jason.
So for time constraints, we are not doing Riddle Me This week. We wanted to, but we decided to talk a lot more about the listener feedback and just in general. So next week from Kristen at It's Free at Last, we're going to recast the McDonaldland gang. So if you got any ideas, go onto our Facebook page and try it. So put your suggestions. You excited about that one, Blake?
Very.
Okay.
See, I had my list ready to go tonight.
I apologize for running me.
I had my diabolical replacement for Ronald McDonald.
Who didn't have a diabolical replacement for Ronald McDonald? Well, you just ruined my pick.
So, plot lines from Randall Holt at RJ Holt 666. Satan's Little Helper.
So, the guy who has 666 in his handle wants us to do Satan's Little Helper.
Morris, do you know what this is?
I have no idea what this is.
Okay.
Explain
I'm glad you
plot
listen.
line.
I'm glad you listen.
I listened to my last show.
So, March. We've
We've got a lot better since March. I will say that. We've gotten a lot better.
Or we've gone downhill.
It doesn't matter.
It depends. Do you like peni?
Stop it. Anyway, so basically we take a title of a movie. You have not seen Satan's Little Helper, have you?
I have not.
Okay. We take a name of a movie. One of our fans sends it to us. We try to figure out what the plot is.
Has to be an obscure movie
That we have never seen.
We can't have seen it.
So,
And then we try and guess what it is.
Did you bring it up on IMDb?
It is up on IMDb.
Okay,
But he does not look at it what it is on IMDb. That's just for him to read it. He's
So-
not cheating.
So we try to figure out the plot, a short plot. You can join with somebody and agree with them and just pick and choose, or you can go out on your own, and then we try to figure out who was the closest. We're not usually the closest. Blake has hit 2 of them, and that's because, fairly close, and that's because he took the most obscure thing, and they were actually the closest. So Satan's Little Helper.
And there was some kind of sex involved in it, too.
Yeah,
it works. Sex works, too.
And Satan's Little Helper?
We don't know.
The Devil and Miss Jones.
Well, I think I'm going out on a limb on this and
Okay.
saying it is a horror movie of some sort.
Okay. What sort?
Some sort of evil possession or something like that.
That
With
was
Satan's
vague.
involved. Well, yeah. I'm starting vague and trying to get more
Morris?
specific.
I think it's a Christmas horror movie.
Okay.
I think that
Yes.
Satan's Little Helper is an elf that works at a department store.
I was going with that same thing. I was not thinking department store, but I like that.
Department store. He kills kids at night that come up and
He kills
do-
little Christian kids, but not the agnostic ones that celebrate Christmas and get presents.
Atheist.
Atheist kids. Okay, atheist children.
Well, that's because atheist
They
children
don't celebrate
sit on
Christmas. They celebrate atheist children get presents.
That's right.
and they don't sit on Santa's lap. So
We know Blake's not getting an atheist children's gift presents card this year.
Santa's not coming to.
I'm getting Satan's little helper.
And
Santa doesn't have gifts this year, but Discover Card does.
and at the end there is a mother who kills Satan's little helper to save her child
Okay.
in the fireplace
Like, was the...
with the chimney.
Okay, there was the elf coming down the chimney, or was
She
it...
traps him and starts a fire and burns him alive.
and then kills him with a poker.
And stabs him with a poker. Yeah, there's some stabbing with a poker. Traps him in the chute.
The fire's what
Starts
kills
the
him.
fire and burns him
Yeah,
alive.
I like it.
Satan's
All right.
little helper.
I'm changing my idea completely. I'm guessing it's about someone who gambles the horses, and I don't know. I'm just trying to go with something that's completely different.
A come out of age story with a young girl in the Midwest.
Georgia.
George,
Rural Georgia.
with Courtney Thorne Smith. I like your idea, Morris. I'm going to go though. I don't think it's a department store elf. I'm going to say it's an actual evil elf from Santa's North Pole. That's what I'm going with. Who gets banished?
I like
Maybe
more,
a Krampus type story, maybe?
Yeah, but not. Krampus is actually, I'm
yeah.
talking the elf though.
Like he really wants to be a dentist. Santa will not allow
So
that.
he leaves and kills.
So he leaves to kill.
That's right.
So it's a
And
mix,
experiment on children's teeth.
so it's a mix of the dentist horror movie with Corbin Burnson and an elf. So I like it. I like it. I just want to be a dentist.
Blake, any thoughts?
Blake agreed with Morris.
No, yeah, I know. I like Morris's idea. It's a Christmas story. It's a perverted one with Satan's little helper. And I like the catching of him in the fireplace, stabbing him with a poker, and setting him on fire in order to save her children.
All right, I'm going away from Christmas altogether. And I'm saying it's people trying to summon a demon or something who comes and kills for Satan. That's my feeling.
I'm going to say Brad Pitt stars in it.
Oh yeah, Jeff. Anybody an actor you think might fit your role there?
Dun, dun,
Who played Frodo in the
Daniel
Elijah
Radcliffe?
Wood?
Oh, Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood?
Elijah Wood. Yeah, I was just about to say who played Willow, the little midget.
Warwick Davis.
Warwick Davis. That's what I think. Evil Warwick Davis.
Who you going with, Jeff?
I want to change my answer to
Warwick Davis.
Let's see. There's got to be a big-breasted woman in the movie.
Dolly Parton.
Maybe not that big-breasted.
Jennifer Lopez?
Sure, Jennifer. No, I think I would have heard if Jennifer
No,
Lopez
it was
was
before
in
she
it.
made a pig.
I'm sorry. I saw the year. It's 2004.
Oh. Well, Brad Pitt's out. I'm going to
Dolly
take...
Parton's out.
Technically, no. Her breasts are still big.
I'm going with... oh, shit. Now Brad Pitt's out. Jeez. I'm going to go with... who's the guy that was in Sliders and was married to Rebecca Romaine? Who's that? Jerry O'Connell. I'm going Jerry O'Connell.
Jerry O'Connell.
Who you got,
Oh,
Jeff?
I like your Sliders reference.
Yeah.
I'll go with, what's his name? John Rhys Davies.
Good call. Good call. Okay.
There you go.
So who we got? What is it?
We ready to look this up?
Look it up.
Okay. Satan's Little Helper. A naive young boy unknowingly becomes a pawn of a serial killer. Let's see. You got to give me more. Storyline. Halloween. During Halloween,
Wrong holiday.
theater student Jenna Woolley returns to Belle Island to spend the holiday with her family and her boyfriend Alex Martin, a classmate of hers who was also raised on the island. Her younger brother Dougie Woolley is very attracted to Jenna and
me
is
how to
fascinated with the video game Satan's Little Helper.
Oh, it's a video game. See, they're
He
always the
becomes
downfall.
jealous with the presence of Alex. He leaves home wearing his costume of Satan's Little Helper, seeking Satan himself on the streets so he can ask him to kill Alex. Dougie meets a serial killer who, coincidentally, is wearing a costume of Satan and decides to help him. He brings the insane murderer home, and Jenna and her mother believe that the masked killer is Alex, acting like Satan to please Dougie. Later, the boy walks with the maniac along the streets, helping him terrorize the locals.
Who does it star?
Dolly
Parton.
It stars
Willow.
Well, the only name in here I've heard is Amanda Plummer.
She's weird and scary.
From Pulp Fiction?
From Pulp Fiction. Honey Bunny from Pulp Fiction.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's Alexander Brickle, Catherine Winnick, Stephen Graham, Was Stevens, Dan Ziske, Melissa McGregor.
Dan Zisco?
Tara Reid.
It's not Dan
Reid.
Zisco,
I should have
but
guessed Tara Reid.
Okay, well, thank you, Randall. Wow, that's a demented one. I like it.
We got it so wrong.
Yeah, we should
Well, there
have
was
been thinking
killing.
Halloween. We should have been thinking Halloween.
Should have been thinking.
But not little
Halloween.
kids.
I know, but I kind of want to I want to pay for Morris to make that movie now.
Yeah, I like Morris's version
I
better.
like Satan's Little Helper.
I like that movie.
Let's send that off to Kevin Smith. Maybe he'll
I think
make
so.
Have you seen the reviews on Kevin Smith's new movie?
Tusk.
I have not seen
I want to
any.
see it.
I've read the reviews.
Is it good?
It's fucking weird.
Well,
yes.
I've read the plot to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are the critics liking it or not?
No, the ones I've read, no.
Well, the standard modern critics or mainstream critics. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're probably
aren't
not
going to
going to
like it
him
at all.
no matter what.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm intrigued by it. I want to see it.
Yes, I do too.
Morris?
I haven't seen previews for it or
You know nothing about Tusk?
I know nothing
Justin
about
Long
Tusk.
plays a podcaster that goes to Canada for like these weird stories for his podcast, and he comes across this guy that was saved by a walrus a long time ago, and basically drugs Justin Long and starts turning him into a walrus. And it's like,
That sounds good.
yeah, I like it. Johnny Depp's in it.
What could go wrong with that plot?
Johnny Depp has a cameo.
You know
in
what?
it.
I
You're
know,
saying-
it's funny.
I mean, you're like Johnny Depp's in it. I'm like, okay, it's a cameo. I mean, it's not. He's
you
not a
seen it?
main star. Yes. No, I
you
haven't.
It's a future plot lines
No,
topic.
it's
Tusk.
Justin Long and what's his name? I See Dead People kid.
Oh yeah, Holly Joel Osment,
Haley Joel Osment. Yeah.
who plays a Nazi in Yoga Hosers, the sequel.
And who
Yoga
played
hosers?
Willow in
What?
Willow.
It's called. So okay, let's get into box office news.
It's time for Box Office Bombs.
Box office bombs of the week. Sin City 2: A Dame to Kill For is officially out of the top 50.
Wow, I didn't even know they had 50 things out at one time.
I don't know
so-
what the last 18 were of the movies. And I think like last place was making like $10,000, so you know that's bad that Sin City's past that.
Did you see
I
what
didn't
Sin
see it.
City made this week at all?
No, it wasn't even listed.
Wasn't even listed.
I think that's an issue. I think it bombed.
I think it's an official bomb.
Yes. So.
Did you like it?
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
None of us.
No one saw it.
No wonder it's out of the top 50.
I know 1 week we reported it was at like 13.1 million, and like last week it was at like 13.7 million. So
like
it
in
went
2
up like
weeks. In 2 weeks, it made
600,000, 800,000. It's like that's not a good sign.
last week it made just over 100,000.
Yeah.
It's like third week. It's like, ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, I think it peaked at like it was at number 7 or something.
On its opening week,
Yeah,
and then-
opening week was number 7. Then after that, it was like number 12 and 13. It's like that's not good for a major movie.
Yeah, last week it was 32 or something,
Yeah.
and now it's not even,
not
in
even
the
top 50. I started looking, couldn't find it.
Couldn't find it.
Maze Runner made $32.5 million in its opening week on a budget of $34 million.
Hey, look, there's a maze.
Yeah, that's the Teenage Hunger Games
Yes.
male version.
In a maze.
It looked terrible. I don't understand how it did that well. Usually when the previews look terrible, the movies don't do well.
But it made $32.5 million, which is decent because the box office is down pretty bad. But it's still, I was expecting like $50 million. But I don't even know, is this popular amongst the young adults? I don't know.
I don't know. They like all these dystopian movies.
Dystopian teenage hero movies.
They've greenlit the sequel for 2015 already.
Oh, great.
All right, we're still
Yay.
maze running.
Yes. We're still maze
Didn't
running.
Arnold Schwarzenegger have one of these already?
That was Running Man.
Yeah, he was running through a maze.
Don't mess with
Wasn't
Running
he?
Man. Don't mess with Running Man.
Well, obviously, they went with the Teenage Schwarzenegger version.
Running Man was the greatest movie of
Running
the 80s.
Man wasn't a dystopian
That wasn't on
society.
your greatest movie of the 80s list.
I want to do another revised
All
top
right.
5 of the 80s movies because I left out Clue. I left out a lot of movies. For some fucking reason, I put Predator in there.
Oh,
Which
we all-
isn't even in the top 5 greatest anything movies.
No, that's right. That's why we were like.
I don't even know if it's
what
in the top 5 greatest movies that have the word Predator in the title.
Yes. To Catch a Predator with Jason. What is it?
Chris
Hansen. Walk Among the Tombstones, aka Taken 3, even though it's not called it. A
Was that
13
Liam Neeson on the phone again?
Yep.
When Jeff and I were talking, we're like, yeah, we saw it, and we're like, is that Taken 3? I think it is, isn't it? That looks like the previews
Isn't
for
it
Taken
like a
3.
mix of Taken 3 with his phone, hijack plane?
Yeah. Oh,
Morph?
yeah, yeah.
What the hell was that? I saw that recently
Did you
against
watch
my
it?
will. Yeah.
Was it good?
No.
Non-stop.
Nonstop, yeah. So it's like Nonstop meets Taken, and you get A Walk Among the Tombstones. Because he's a bad guy hunter with a cell phone.
Well, the funny,
Somebody
they just
taken-
released the pictures for the first pictures for Taken 3. And I'm like, you just made it with the Walk Among the Tombstones. Why are you making it take? But he's accused of murder this time, and he's on the run.
Oh. Well, accused of murder. I mean, I think there were 2 movies where he actually murdered people.
I think he did it in a foreign country too. That's not a good sign.
I don't know. The extradition rolls.
Forrest Whitaker's in it, so
As the bad guy?
I don't know. He's a government guy in it, so probably.
Yeah. My favorite Liam Neeson is when he played the Irish IRA liberator leader fighter. Michael
Clayton. No, not Clayton. Shoot.
Michael.
Michael.
We have an internet. Why don't we check it out before we just start doing a beatbox on this?
Yeah, Michael Conaway. Yeah, I really thought that
Mike
was good.
O'Malley, the comedian.
No, Mike O'Malley.
Michael
Damn
Clayton.
it. I'm trying to type it in and they're just giving me people named Michael. I'm like, no, I want a title named Michael.
Do Liam Neeson.
Oh, I suppose I have
That would
to.
be easier.
Schindler's List?
No.
Oh.
Irish.
Morris, what do you think about Schindler's List?
Was Liam Neeson in that?
I don't think so.
Schindler.
He wore red. Blake, you weren't here last time. Morris despises Schindler's List.
Oh, okay. I understand. No, but people that want a good movie and background of the Irish Republican Army.
Collins.
Michael Collins,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, Michael Collins is an interesting historical figure in that movement, starting out as IRA fighter turned, IRA politician, and then later killed by, the more radical members of his group.
I thought he was great in Rob Roy.
And that too.
I forgot about Rob Roy.
Yeah.
It's like Dancer in the Dark. I forgot all about that too.
Well, you liked him in Darkman, didn't you?
I did like Darkman.
I like Darkman.
I did too.
Sam Raimi.
All we found was an ear and a finger. I think it was. I don't think he was in the sequels, though, was he?
I'm not
I
sure I,
don't think
saw
he
the
was.
sequels.
He wasn't in Die Darkman Die, the greatest title of a sequel I've ever heard. Die Darkman Die.
So that
didn't
meant
know
there
that.
wasn't going to be a third?
There was a third.
He was in Crawl?
He was in Crawl?
Apparently, he
That
played
was the
Keegan
biggest piece
in
of
Crawl.
shit 3D movie I've ever seen.
Next to Jaws 3D.
Oh my god.
He played Gawain in Excalibur?
Yes, I remember that in Excalibur. There's a lot of famous people in Excalibur if you go back and read the cast.
Okay, now I gotta go back and read the cast of Excalibur. We're taking a detour here.
No, go ahead. Look it up. Look it up. We'll finish the box office bombs. Look it up so you get it ready.
This is where I leave you. Made 11.8 million. Its opening week on budget of 19.8 million.
What the fuck's that movie about?
It's the one where the dad dies and all the
kids are
grounds all
grounded
his
for a
kids.
week.
Yeah, it's a wake. It's an Irish wake or something like that. Irish wake.
I thought they were
Dad dies.
Jewish.
and he grounds everybody from the grave.
In his will, he basically wanted everybody to stay there for the whole Jewish wake or whatever, and so they have to stay there.
He
for
wants
7
the family
days.
together, pretty much one last time because they'll probably never see each other again for their lives because they just didn't get along.
It's got some decent people in it.
But
I'm
yeah,
intrigued.
It looks
Okay.
All
intriguing.
kinds of incest.
Awesome.
That's actually the selling point. Come for the incest.
Come for the Jewish incest. Let's go. Schindler's List meets... Oh, never mind.
Serbian film.
Oh, that could be the worst film ever. Oh.
Woo.
And speaking of bad jokes, no good deed.
No good deed. Sorry, Idris Elba's here. And his partner. Made $10.2 million. Total
Which
of $40
one's
million.
no good dude?
Idris Elba is a criminal and he does a home invasion. Have you seen that one?
But he's slowed down by the weight between his legs.
He's like a zombie. He just crawls. 40 million on a $13.2 million budget. And number 5, Dolphin Tale 2 Electric Boogaloo made $9 million. Total of $27 million on a budget of $36 million.
Oh man, Dolphin Tale might not make its money back.
They should have made a sequel. Okay,
It's a
I'm
flipper
sorry.
rehash.
The first one, fine. Why are you making a sequel to Dolphin Tale?
Let's go to Flipper.
I think everything's been told about the dolphin. I don't think you need it anymore. Upcoming this week, September 26th through the 28th, is The Box Trolls. And also The Equalizer with...
Denzel Washington.
Yeah. Which actually does not look as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No. Well, it's done by Antoine Fuqua as the director, who also did Training Day and King Arthur, one of my favorites.
Both of them are good movies.
And Denzel Washington rehashing his badass movie role again.
Yeah, he's pretty much playing the opposite that he did in Training Day. In this, he's like the criminal who's actually doing it for the right reasons, as opposed to being the cop doing everything for the wrong reasons.
I see.
And I did see there was another movie. I don't know if it was like it was just released like not locally, sorry, like in small amount of theaters. It was a smaller independent one, but it had a big name on it. I can't think of it now. But basically, the guy's dog gets killed, and the hitman's dog gets killed, and he goes after all the people that killed his dog. And I'm intrigued by it.
Okay.
And
I just remembered a movie I'm going to add to my top 5.
There you go. He knows the name of the movie, but he's not sharing.
I'm going to find it. Jeff, talk about
Well,
it.
it's not that movie.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I pulled up Excalibur here.
That's right.
I suppose I'll just have to go through the people whose names I've heard of before. I see Helen Mirren was in it.
Helen Mirren, when she was young and hot and sexy.
Yeah, she played Morgana, so that's
Yes.
impressive. Robert Addy
Yes.
played Mordred.
Yes.
Gabriel Byrne played Uther Pendragon.
Right. Gabriel Byrne,
Yeah, Liam Neeson was Gawain.
of course.
And Patrick Stewart was...
Yes.
I can't pronounce that name. Leon de Grants.
Leon de Gaulle.
Yeah, those are the names that I recognize.
Gabriel
They
Byrne,
are.
that's the guy who wasn't Kaiser Soze, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
He wasn't Kaiser Soze, but he was Uther Pendragon.
Yeah, a lot of British actors.
Yeah, people with the names like Clive Swift and Niall.
Clive Swift. If you Google him, he's done a lot of stuff.
Okay, I'm sure he has. I just don't recognize the name. Corin Redgrave. I'm assuming he's related to the famous acting
Vanessa?
Redgraves.
Could be.
I'm just assuming
I
that
can't-
just
I
based
can't-
on
I
his
don't know.
name. Catherine Borman, Keith Buckley, Nicole Williamson, Paul Jeffrey, Sherry Lugani, Nicholas Clay,
Nicolas Cage?
Clay.
Oh.
and Nigel Terry, who played King Arthur, and I honestly don't know him from anything else.
Nigel Terry is like I think I can't remember. He's like probably one of those other Shakespearean actors like Patrick Stewart that you would only know if you like had bad teeth and drank tea.
All right.
Send complaints to Blake at Bad Ideas Podcast. Let's see. The movie I'm talking about is called John Wick, about the dog.
Nope, don't know it.
Keanu Reeves. It is Keanu Reeves. Never mind. Let's see here.
So it's got to be a good movie.
Let's see. He ends up. Let's see. It's a B-grade action movie about a hitman's quest for bloody revenge when his dog gets killed. Okay.
Basically
why not?
what he said.
Yeah.
His wife recently passed away due to some never-specified terminal illness, and the puppy she gave him is brutally killed by a trio of Russian goons who break into his house. In quotations, this is from the critics' review. No, seriously.
Russian goons. And then, really, aren't Russian goons your favorite type of goons?
Yes, they are. So, John Wick, I'm excited.
All right. So is that the end of our box office?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll move on.
That means Chris Pratt news. What?
All
What?
right.
What?
What? But
Ben-
it's not Chris Pratt news.
We're doing Ben McKenzie from In Honor of Gotham. Because he's kind of dreamy from the OC.
Yeah, nothing from the OC is dreamy.
So Ben McKenzie, before fame, he was teammates with future Super Bowl MVP Drew Brees in middle school. That was kind
Teammates
of a fun
on
fact.
what sport?
Football.
Oh, I thought maybe
Water
they were,
polo.
I thought maybe they were like
But the horses kept
lacrosse
drowning. What?
teammates or something.
Now, on a side note of quarterbacks, isn't Aaron Rodgers looking more and more like Mel Gibson?
I never thought of
You
that.
mean
but
his ability to throw the ball?
No, I'm
Or
Can Mel
talking
Gibson
about
throw a
Aaron
ball?
Rodgers is looking more and more like Mel Gibson
in
from
the
his
face
young
area?
days of Mad Max.
So you're saying when they redo Mad Max, they should cast
Hire
Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers?
Rodgers.
they already did remade it.
Yeah, but next time they
Next
redo
one,
again.
do it again.
Yeah.
How's your Browns? They almost won.
Yeah, you know, same shit, different Sunday.
You guys find a good way to lose every time.
That's what we're best at.
I was pulling for you guys. I did not want the Ravens to win.
You know, we're 2 plays away from 3-0.
Yeah. You know the Bengals are 3-0. Did you know that? They're not any plays away from it because they
Sorry.
are 3-0.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how good the Bengals are after the bye week. They got 4 tough games. See how true they
Patriots
are.
are
Or
not
actually,
great.
like 5 tough
They
games.
have 4 tough games and the Browns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they got Jacksonville.
Well, you know what? If it's do they play Cleveland in Cincinnati or
I'm
in
not
Cleveland?
sure which one
They
first.
play them in both places.
I know
they
they
do
play
that
them in
every
both
year.
places. But what do they play them at first?
I don't know.
Because you know how it usually works. We win down
You
here,
win on the
you
road.
win up there.
Yeah, they win
Well,
on the
division
road.
games are always anybody's division games. Like New England losing to Miami does not surprise me because it's division games. Those games
Those games
you
are
can go
always
either
tough.
way. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But what about New Orleans losing to Cleveland? That's not division.
New Orleans is not as good as everyone thinks. I'm sorry, but they don't.
All right, go ahead. Take that one win away from us, you bastard.
Morris, you're a Bengals fan, aren't you?
I am a Bengals fan.
Yeah. You excited?
I'm very excited.
Andy Dalton? He looks decent.
Still a ginger.
He still has no soul.
God. Shout out. Blake, your sister got published
Yeah, she did.
in a 100-word story or less. Explain.
Yeah, she got published in Reader's Digest, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
So it's a 100-word story or less, so it's called How to Have Your Baby on the Floor. 1. Have doctors who believe you've just got a bladder infection during your 9th month. 2. Scream at your husband to run to get doctor-prescribed bladder medication. 3. Start to panic when you realize a human is emerging from your body. 4. Have your mother-in-law scream that even though she has had 5 children of her own, she has never seen it from this angle. 5. Plead with your mother-in-law to catch the baby. 6. Close your eyes. 7. Welcome, baby girl. 8. Have the best true story ever.
That really is a true story?
True story. She was having some discomfort down there. She called up her, the pediatrician? What is her? Pregnancy doctor? Gynecologist? What the hell do they call him? I have no idea.
OBGYN.
OBGYN. Whatever. Baby doctor specialist.
Obstetrician.
Pregnancy. Obstetrician. Yeah, thank you.
Pediatrician.
Whatever. So she's like, hey, I've got this wrong. He's like, you probably have a bladder infection. And she's like, no, I don't think that's what it is. I think something's happening down here. So he prescribes her medication. So my brother-in-law, Mark, runs out to go to the pharmacy. It just so happens that Mark's mom is with them in the house. She's there on vacation visiting. Now, Mark's mom has had 5 children of her own. So while Mark's running out to get the pharmacy prescription filled, Heather realizes she is going into contractions there in the hallway in the kitchen. And she starts screaming to her mother-in-law, hey, the baby's coming. Do something. And the mother's like, I don't know what the hell to do. And kind of runs out of the place. And she's like, no, just catch the baby. Of course, the only thing going through my head is, Monty Python's scene where the Catholic mom's washing dishes and it's like, bloop. There's another one. having that going on. So she lay down and she calls the paramedic. She actually has to call the paramedics herself because her mother-in-law is so stressed out, doesn't know what to do, despite she's had 5 children of her own. So Heather's like, in the midst of giving labor, calling 911. I'm having a baby on my kitchen floor. And so by the time the EMTs arrive, she's already had the baby. It's already out, and everything's good. And story of a lifetime.
My oldest brother, his wife had second or third one. I think it was second one. Or might have been third one. Third kid in the back of his business car in the hospital emergency room parking lot.
Didn't get there in time.
And
almost got there in time, but not close enough.
He said his company was not happy with the leather seats after that in the back seat because of everything going on.
Oh, come on.
And then the best part is the hospital charged them a delivery fee. And he's like, no, I caught my own kid coming out, and they actually waived it.
Really?
Damn straight they waived
Because
it.
he said, I caught the kid, and you have it on camera that nobody was out
Nobody
there.
was there.
I caught the kid. You're not charging me a delivery fee.
Actually, you should be giving me a discount.
So, anyways, so finally, independent comic book review, the third, Revelation by Stephen Prince.
Yeah,
Finally
we have
got to it, Stephen. We apologize.
Yeah, we have to apologize because on our vacation last week, it completely slipped our minds.
Yes.
So we're like, oh crap, we need to still review that.
So Blake talked about it a couple weeks ago. We do apologize for it. It's available on Comixology. Issue
And just when you thought you're only going to have to listen to 3 of our podcasts, we suck you in for the 4th.
Issue 2 came out in August. Issue 3 is in September.
Which I think is already out
Yes,
since we've delayed
yes,
so
yes.
much.
They comprise a complete book. They're actually they're very reasonable online too. So if you go online, pick some up.
Online comics should be reasonable.
Correct.
As we discussed when you were out of the room.
So sorry about that. And then basically it's quick thing. It's Don Maximus that rules the universe. He's the head of the Universal Church. He's the embodiment of the faith, and basically wields the power and control. And basically somebody comes across a mythical object, and basically
to set it up. When the world was created, the creation was split into 3 things: the good, the bad, and the balance. Mm-hmm. And this Don Maximus has control of the good and the bad.
yes,
And the balance is still out there, and that's the third that's in
what
the title.
people are looking for.
Yeah.
So
Or that he's looking for
Correct.
to bring complete power to himself.
Yes. So basically, she gets involved with Devin, a thief, and basically that's what it follows. And it's great artwork. It's creepy.
Really? I was about to say my complaint was the artwork looks too sketchy to me.
See, I like that.
Oh, okay.
I like that because I like the independent version of it because I thought it did. What do you call it? Walking Dead's like that too.
Yeah.
Now it's gotten more refined as the issues have gone on, but I like the sketchiness of it. I like that.
It felt too sketchy to me, and some of the like to follow the action, it felt a little disjointed. As in, things are happening, but I can't quite follow them because of the sketch or the artwork.
See, I thought I liked it because I thought it did give more creepiness to Max and everything. So I like that part of it.
I mean, I'm intrigued by the story, and I like the setup to it.
It's definitely take a look at it. We will put a link on our website or Facebook page on it. Eventually we'll have a website. But no, I liked it a lot. I'm intrigued by it. If he's going to keep it going or not. So
Well, it's supposed to be 3 trilogies of 3.
Yes.
And I suppose the first, all 3 are out, and I think he said it's going to be January. Is that when the second one's coming out, or is that when he's...
I have it here.
I know he said something about he's going to be publishing
January,
all 3 of them.
The 3rd rebirth, and in June, the conclusion.
Okay, yeah.
But I think he's going to hopefully put them out or whatever. You can get them all together in one book or whatnot.
Graphic novel.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yes.
But I wish him luck.
Yes.
And the story intrigues me, so I'm looking forward to how it goes.
Yes. I like anything with religious zealots.
Religious bad guys?
Yes.
When the religious people are the evil people?
Not Sam! So,
but they always are.
So take a look. Like I said, we will put a link on our Facebook page on it. So thank you, Stephen Prince, for it.
Yes, thank you, Steve. All right, that music means we're ready for our top 5 this week.
What is it, Jeff? What's our top 5?
Our top 5 is top 5 weirdest movies,
Yes.
strangest movies.
You don't have to
What
like
the
them.
fuck?
Yeah, you know, I
movies.
could have had a little more direction with this. Like, top 5 movies that I've seen. Top 5. What is your definition of weird? Like,
Well, for the most part, you have to see it to be able to judge how weird it is.
yeah, but weird by what standard? Like,
Your
weird as
standard?
in independent and weird as in whatever?
Weird is in your standard of weird.
Weird as in it's in the title?
After you see it, you go, "What the fuck was
Oh,
that?"
it's in the title because it's like weird science and
That's right.
weird. No.
Never talk about weird stuff.
Excuse me.
Cannonball!
Cannonball. Morris, what is your number 5?
Before I start, I just want to kind of explain the ones that I put on there. I didn't want to put really obscure ones on there because
Okay.
I studied film and we watch a lot of Dadaist films, and that's
A lot of
just
those French title films.
yeah, those are just weird for the sake of being weird, and they're by far the weirdest films that you'll ever see. And like surrealist films are very, very strange, and they came out of Dadaist films, and they're not even as weird as Dada or like pop art, like Andy Warhol, where he
yes.
sits there and he eats a hamburger for 6 minutes.
Oh my god, what was the vampire movie Andy Warhol made?
I don't know.
There
Now
was
you're
a
gonna make me
vampire
look that
movie that he
up.
actually made. I actually watched it and it was fucking weird.
Well, it's Andy Warhol. What do you
Yeah.
expect?
and it's got what's his name? His one buddy is actor in it.
Didn't he also make one where he like just filmed somebody sleeping for like 8 hours or
Yeah, it's
something?
called Sleep.
Yep.
Is it? Okay.
He had one he called Empire, which was on the Empire State Building as the day went on. The sun crossed over. It was like a 12-hour
Did
movie.
people go see this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did they?
they would. But I didn't go with movies like that. I went with
Okay.
movies that have
More mainstream.
exactly.
Okay. Okay.
My number.
There's just a whole lot of
I think it was
movies
like-
here under him. It'd be a
I think it
while
was
to
Andy
find
Warhol's
out.
Dracula. I think that's what it was
It
called.
might have been. Oh yeah, Haircut. That was a good movie.
Yeah,
Where someone getting a
or
haircut.
Blood for Dracula. Udo Kier. Udo Kier's in it. That's his name. Udo.
Batman Dracula.
No.
He did one called Batman Dracula in '64.
No. Udo Kier played some weird vampire movie that was actually made by Andy Warhol.
Okay.
That's the only reason why I know Udo Kier. Of course, now that I pull it up IMDb, I'm looking. Go ahead, number 5. Who else is next?
Morris, go ahead.
Okay, no, my number 5 has probably got the strangest plot of all time. If you take it outside of any, I guess, fairy tales or anything that you've heard, it's just a very strange plot, and that just makes it incredibly weird. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. There's an island of misfit toys. There's an
island,
elf
yes.
that wants to be a dentist. There's a reindeer whose nose glows and he's ostracized by the rest of the reindeer because his nose glows, but when it's a foggy Christmas, he saves the day. And it's just a ridiculous story. And out of
It has a
context.
Charlie in the box.
Again.
But very weird. Again, weird.
You see, I don't disagree with you because I hate that show. I hate Rudolph.
Oh, I love
hate it.
Rudolph.
I'm not
Everything
saying
about
I
it.
like it or I hate it. I'm saying that it's weird.
I never thought about that, but that is true because
An
I
elf
did
who wants to be a dentist.
the Misfit Toys Island.
Now, is
Misfit
this the one
Toys
you
and-
added to your list?
No, I didn't.
So
I
even
didn't add
before
it.
we discussed Rudolph earlier,
Yes.
or the dentist from Satan's Little Helper.
So,
All right.
wow, that's a good one. I did not think of that one. Okay, Blake, what's your number 5?
My number 5, I actually like this an awful lot. All right, so the parameter for my weird films are films that I thought other people would think were kind of weird, but I actually had to have seen. That was kind of like
Yes.
my rule. I had to have seen it. I really got a kick out of Linklater's Waking Life with Ethan Hawke.
Okay,
I thought it was-
I'd give that very weird.
Yay, thank you. I got I like the concept of how it was a movie dream sequence, real acting into animation, in and out of reality kind of dealings. Basically, it was a lot of philosophy about life and things in general.
I haven't seen it, so I can't judge. But
I can.
I can because I'm an American, and I can judge anything.
Yeah.
But it intrigued me because I saw the previews for it, and I saw some things talking about it, and just the manner in which the movie was made, I suppose, could be considered weird, as in out of the norm. Jason?
Sorry, I was looking up something, making sure I got the right thing here. Number 5 is kind of an odd one. And I think it's because I hated the movie so much. But it's from, I think, 94-ish? Cool World. Remember that?
Brad Pitt?
Yes. I remember watching that as a kid.
Oh, and that cartoon chick was hot.
Kim Basinger as Hollywood. Hollywood. Get it?
As in Hollywood do it? Or Holly?
Yes, that is actually on the promos.
Okay.
Hollywood. Or,
if she could.
Yes.
I thought maybe it was another penis reference for saying wood.
Maybe. But I remember watching that, and probably I was not the target audience as a kid, but I watched that and I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching? And I've seen it since I was a kid, and I still don't know what that movie was. Now, I think a lot of it was also bad screenwriting, but...
Well, it was like Who Framed Roger Rabbit without the comic tinge to it.
Which, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was almost on my list, too, because I think is a weird film. I really do. It has a plot, and I get all that, but I think that still is a fucking weird film. And I don't like Roger Rabbit. Everybody talks about it. I can't stand it.
Okay.
Different.
Is your qualifier for being a weird movie you can't like it?
No, I do like some of these.
Okay.
I do like some. I like 2 of them. 2 of the 5. Jeff, what's yours? Number 5.
I'm going with
Tron.
A duo that tends to, a writer-director duo that tends to make weird movies.
Speed Racer.
Spike Jonze.
Spike Jonze, Charlie Kaufman's Being John Malkovich.
Yep, that could be a good one.
I didn't even think of that, but...
Just the scene alone when John Malkovich goes into his own mind is enough.
That's good. I like any video also done by Spike Jonze. So if you go to YouTube or Netflix, just Spike Jonze before he did his movie stuff, he was making music videos, and he's got some really great ones.
Didn't he do that kids one? The one where they go to the island with the monsters and that.
Yeah, Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah, Where the Wild
Things Are.
Which those I've seen bits and pieces on TV. Those creatures that they made are scary looking in that. So Jeff, that's your number 5. What's your number 4?
My number 4.
Somebody's got to take out Jeff's number 1. Come on.
I won't take out my number 1 right now. My number 4. This it's pretty much any movies by this director, but this one is going to
No.
I'm going with The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus by Terry Gilliam.
Oh my God!
And pretty much any Terry Gilliam movie can fit the thing. This is one I'm going with.
But that movie was a piece of shit. I hated it.
Did he do Time Bandits?
Yeah, he did Time Bandits.
Yes.
I love Time Bandits.
It was Terry Gilliam, so I said, okay, this is going to be different, but I like Terry Gilliam. And then I watched that movie and I realized what a piece of shit I just fucking watched.
That was Heath Ledger's last film.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
I didn't like nor dislike. It was more of a what the fuck is when I watched it. So it's like...
And then you get angry because you're like, what the fuck?
I didn't get angry because, well, it's Terry Gilliam, so it's like... I don't know what to expect, but I know to expect I don't know what's going on.
I like Time Bandits. When they push all the wall back, they push the wall back.
Time Bandits was weird and fun.
It was weird.
I mean, we were discussing this at work, and that what made me think of putting this movie on was Ray mentioned Time Bandits.
Time Bandits.
And I'm like,
right.
well, I'm any
Brazil, any
it's any Gilliam movie, and then I'm like, well, I think this one's the weirdest of those of his that I've seen.
I saw the trailer for it, and I thought that was fucked up just from the trailer.
The weirdest that did make any sense. At least Time Bandits you kind of follow. Even Brazil you can kind of follow, but this one you're like, what the fuck? You're right.
Adventures of Baron Munchausen. I love that movie.
Baron Munchausen. That was just weird.
That's the list.
There you go. That's the list.
But this is Pretty much,
Still didn't
I'm
think it was
putting
that good.
all Terry Gilliam movies for the most part, but I'm specifying Dr. Parnassus specifically.
That was, yeah, okay.
But that's my number 4.
Man, I like both your answers.
Number 4 for me, Mulholland Drive.
That's my number 1. Thanks,
Yes!
Jay. Stealing it right away.
Put it on the board.
Boom, right on the board. Number 1 gone.
Mr. Morris, since you haven't listened to us since March, basically, Jeff has not had a number 1 that has not been taken out by Blake or I or a guest in what, 2 months?
Oh no, I had one. I think. Last week that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. It was just.
But I think there was one that nobody else had mentioned that was my number 1.
Yeah.
So. But pretty much, yeah, my number 1 gets taken down early.
Yeah. So it's great.
I had to put a David Lynch one on my film.
Did you do Mulholland Drive?
I'm not going to say until I get to it.
Well, if it is, let us know because we
Okay,
can.
it was not Mulholland
Mulholland
Drive,
Drive.
but I did consider Mulholland Drive.
I think I know which one you're picking, and that could be my number 1.
Ooh, it would be my number 1 too.
Okay, good. Anyways.
That's my only David Lynch movie on my list.
Mulholland
I've tried
Drive
to
was a
take
fucked up
different
film.
directors.
Something about
on
Blue
these.
Box and
That was before I ever watched it. A friend of ours said, "I watched this movie, and I was enjoying it or whatever." And then at one specific point, I had no clue what was going on.
Yes.
Yep. And then
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, challenge accepted. I'm like, I'm going to watch this movie and I'm going to figure it out. So I start watching the movie and I'm like, okay, I'm following this. And then like some weird thing happens or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's probably what he's talking about. I still know what's going on. They open the box. I'm like, what? What just happened? I know nothing.
What's in the box?
And what really pissed me off was that movie on DVD has no chapters.
Oh.
So you can't jump to the area you want to rewatch. You have to fast forward through the whole freaking movie. So it's like, oh, fuck you, David Lynch. I'm not even gonna.
he's a surrealist filmmaker.
Oh, he's a surrealist filmmaker, and
he's a weird
and
motherfucker.
he starts normal, and then everything.
Yes. Blake, what's your number 4?
Blood for Dracula was directed by Paul Morrissey and produced by Andy Warhol, which starred Udo Kier.
okay.
But that's not my number 4.
Oh, okay.
I just want to let you know I found the damn movie. But no, it's kind of funny because it's Udo Kier, of course. And when you look at the cast, there's this topless Stefania Cassini, and you're like, wow. Would that make sense? Because I've seen Blood for Dracula, and all I could think of it was a trashy, sexy, homo, lesbian, straight sex, basically soft porn movie.
Emmanuel.
It basically had everything.
Emmanuel.
Yeah, it's like any other French movie, French flick. But yeah, it had everything, and I remember watching it, and I couldn't stop watching it. Don't ask me why. But it was really weird. Okay, my number 4, Jacob's Ladder, Tim Robbins. So Jacob's Ladder.
I was thinking of that one.
Watching the movie, and you're like, okay, he was in Vietnam. Is he dead? He's in purgatory. What's going on? Are the faceless things or demons trying to take him, or is he just crazy?
Yeah.
It's been 10 years since I've thought of that movie.
I was looking up weird films. And just to give me my mind refresh, I was like, oh, fuck, Jacob's Ladder. That was weird as anything. You have no idea what's going on at the end.
It's weird movie.
I haven't seen it.
You can judge. Morris, what's yours?
Just watch
My
Blood
number
for
4
Dracula.
is Cemetery Man. Have you seen Cemetery Man? It's got Rupert
Murdoch?
Everett.
Rupert Everett. There is an actor called Rupert Everett.
I think it's Rupert Everett. It's Rupert something.
Murdoch.
It's Rupert something. But he gets hired by a cemetery, and the caretaker says at night, the people who just get buried, they come back to life, so you got to kill them. So he's just a cemetery caretaker who kills the zombies when they come back to life, and he treats it like any other job. And then he falls in love with this person who comes and visits her grandmother all the time, and
That he's killing.
And then she dies. So
So he
she
doesn't
comes
wanna
back to
kill her,
life. He
which-
doesn't want to kill her, so he has sex with her dead body or her zombified body or whatever. It's
Yeah, is sex with the undead, is that still
Disgusting?
or,
Yes, it's still
necrophilia.
disgusting.
but is it still necrophilia?
Yes.
Oh my
'Cause they're
god, that
undead.
reminds me of the funny ass skit. Oh my god. What's the comedian from HBO? He does this skit
Louis
where...
C.K.?
John Oliver?
No, not Louis C.K. He's one of the younger guys, more lesser knowns. And it's a skit where he and his buddies, it's like Dawn of the Dead, and his dead buddy's hot ex-girlfriend comes back as a zombie, and he's like, hey guys, if you hold her down, I think I want to fuck her. You're just like, what the hell? She's dead. That's disgusting. No, I think she digs me. I don't want to have sex with her. And you're like, oh my god. No, she's trying to eat you. No, I think she really wants me.
We have friends that go to strip clubs. I think the strippers want them, so that could be the same thing.
Oh, and Morris, it is Rupert Everett, and I pulled it up.
Rupert Everett.
It's a great movie. It's a dark kind of humor, but it's
Is it on Netflix?
a lot of the, I don't know, it might be. A lot of the reviews say that it gets kind of repetitive towards the end, like you can skip the last 20 minutes, but I think it's one of the best zombie movies out there.
Okay. What's your number 3?
Meet the Feebles.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
I forgot about that one too.
Peter Jackson.
Yes. It's like an X-rated Muppet show.
Yep, there's a rabbit who thinks he gets an STD, but spoiler alert, it's not really an STD. There's I forget what kind of animal sings the song about sodomy.
Oh god.
Which, as soon as I wrote this down on my list, got stuck in my head. Sodomy.
Oh my god, I forgot about
And then the hippo or the elephant
hippo?
goes, or was it a hippo?
I
or
thought it was a
elephant?
hippo.
I'm thinking hippo. He goes crazy with machine gun, shoots out people's kneecaps.
Yeah, I only saw it once. That's because I think you let me borrow the video of that, and I'm like, I don't know what this is.
I wanted to put that or Dead Alive on the list, and I opted for Meet the Feebles
I
because that's
wrote for
weird.
Meet the Feebles. That is weirder, even though Dead Alive is weird too.
Blake, what's yours?
Well, let's see. Since
Number
we're
3.
talking about bunnies, my number 3 was Donnie Darko.
My number 3.
Yeah, number 3.
I thought you were going
Darko?
to say Night of the Lepus.
Yes.
I forgot about Night of the Lepus.
Wait a minute, time out, Blake. Blake, time out. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this for Morris over there.
Is this the
I
sodomy
think he's
song?
looking at the sodomy song. Yes.
Is that not how I sang it?
Okay, moving on. Sorry.
All right, Blake, go ahead with Donnie Darko.
Yes, that's all I gotta say.
Sodomy.
No, it's another one of those movies where you're like, it's just weird, and you watch it, you're like, what the fuck, man?
I liked the movie.
I did not.
I
was
liked it, and
overrated.
I liked. Oh shit! What the hell was
When
his
they're
name?
sitting in the movie theater, that is the creepiest thing ever. And they're all sitting right there with the last guy has all the has a mask on.
Yeah, who played the
Jake Gyllenhaal?
No, the bad guy, the creepy.
James Franco?
No.
I'm just throwing names out.
Yeah,
Channing
no,
Tatum, Tate.
Yeah, no, Tate's was not in that one.
Rupert Murdoch?
No, Rupert
Everett
was not in. I will. Rupert Everett, me.
So my number 3 is the old version, not the new one.
Yeah,
with Nicolas
Patrick
Cage.
Swayze. Patrick Swayze's
Oh.
character.
Okay.
I liked the fact that he was the bad guy and all that shit.
Okay. You don't really have much to say since all your picks are being taken away.
Yeah, I really don't. So go ahead.
Number 3, not the Nicolas Cage remake, the original one, The Wicker Man. Has anyone ever seen that?
Yes.
No.
Isn't that where he goes to that island
Yes.
to, like,
The
is he
bees!
detective and the bees? It's just weird-ass shit.
And you're saying the original one, not the Nicolas Cage one. So.
No, we're not talking Nicolas Cage.
The only one I'm familiar with is Nicolas Cage, and that's
The
more than
original-
I want to know.
We watched that back when I was younger. After work, we would all work till like 10 o'clock at the local grocery store. Then we would go to the Hollywood Video or Blockbuster back in the day. Moment of silence for them. And we were trying to find, funny, bad movie or whatever, or just scary movie or whatever.
That wasn't much of a moment of silence.
No. Sorry, moment of silence. Okay, moving on. But yeah, so we rented The Wicker Man, and all 4 of us were like, after watching it, what the fuck? And there was a scene where these naked women are jumping over a fire, and he's like, why are they jumping over a fire naked? And the response from the person that was on the island goes, well, you wouldn't want them to put to wear clothes when they do it, would you? Well, I guess not.
Clothes can catch fire.
Well, there you go.
There's your point. I couldn't tell you the fucking thing that happened in that movie. I could, like bees, and there was a teddy bear costume, and it was weird. I don't know what any of it's about. It's a missing girl, and everybody on the island's fucking messed up. But that Wicker Man still sticks with me. Ah. Jeff, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Donnie Darko.
Okay, what's your number 2?
Number 2 is The Fountain.
Oh, God, I tried to take that from my mind.
Dario
The Aronofsky's...
or no, that was
Hugh
Darren
Jackman.
Aronofsky.
Yeah, Darren Aronofsky
Yeah.
starring Hugh Jackman, and I still don't know what happened in that movie.
He was time traveling?
Yeah, 3 different time periods. One included a floating orb with a tree in it.
One, he was Cortez.
Something, a conquistador or
I
something.
really wanted to see that. And then we saw it.
Yes.
And no.
I still, don't know.
That was one of the few films that my wife went with me to preview at the theaters when you were still working there. And she's like, why do you watch this shit? And she's like, I don't know what's going on. I was like, don't worry, you're not the only one.
But yeah, no, and I like other Aronofsky movies I've seen. I just couldn't follow that one.
I completely agree. I think that Pi was Pi. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Pi, and I think Black Swan was one of the greatest movies.
Yeah, I
ever
like
made.
Black Swan.
Blake, you liked that one too, didn't you? Black Swan?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
He did
loved
The
it a lot.
Wrestler.
I liked it a lot.
The Wrestler was good.
I didn't see The Wrestler. I really wanted to, but I just
Mickey
never...
Rourke is amazing.
You know, I had reservations about that, but when I watched the movie, I actually liked it.
The Wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you actually became empathetic with Mickey Rourke's character, and also with what's her name? I forget.
Oh, his
Marissa
daughter.
Tomei.
Yeah, Marissa Tomei, and talk about depressing down and outs.
Yeah. Number 2 for me is Wrist Cutters, a love story. Anybody seen it?
Wrist
have.
cutters.
I heard of it, but I have not seen it.
No. You may have heard of it. Don't see it. It is... My wife and I were watching a movie, and this was previewed on it. Like, this was a preview in the beginning. Basically, guy commits suicide. I think his girlfriend commits suicide. I don't know. He commits suicide or whatever. And he goes into, like, this purgatory. And it's basically like the country, like America. But, he basically goes around and he falls in love with this girl that committed suicide too. And they have this road trip in purgatory. Which sounds great.
It does. I'm not reading it on here.
No,
a film
it's
set
awful.
in a strange
Awful.
afterlife way station that has been reserved for people who've committed suicide.
Yes.
That
Yes.
actually sounds like an interesting
Don't
movie.
watch it. Awful. No.
Oh, Shannon Sossamon. We were just talking
Yes,
about her.
she
I
hasn't
didn't know
done
she
much
was in that.
since 40 Days and 40 Nights, isn't it? Or whatever that was.
Yeah, 40 Days and 40
Yeah.
Nights. And
Josh
she was-
Hartnett.
Yeah, and she was also in Heath Ledger, Knight's Tale.
Knight's Tale, yeah. But yeah, Wrist Cutters, I had such high hopes, and it was weird as fuck. I still don't know what happened. I don't care what happened. I just want to say fuck you to the trailer that, made me want to rent it, So, Wrist Cutters, enough said. Bastards.
Made you want to cut your wrist.
Yes, it did. Where's
There you go.
Blake, or Nick, whatever. Thank you, Nick.
He was sleeping. It's getting late.
Good, Blake, what's your number 2?
Before I start my number 2, it's called Nick Swartzen.
Oh,
Yes.
I
Parks and
remember
Rec?
the commercials
Nick
for it. I
Swartzen's
didn't see it.
Pretend
Oh,
Time.
no, never mind.
Yes, Nick Swartzen's Pretend Time. He's got some other funny skits on there, such as Gay Robot and all that kind of fun stuff.
I think he had a show on Comedy Central, too.
That's
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
on
on
Comedy
Netflix?
Central. I'm
Okay.
sorry, not HBO. Yeah,
Okay.
Comedy Central. But yeah, he does this one zombie skit where it's his best friend's
And
ex-girlfriend.
he's trying to do the...
And he's like, yeah, I think she wants me. I want to have sex with her. And he's like, no, just hold her down. And he's like, oh my God, it's disgusting. But
I could see that on the Nick Swartzen.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But no, my number 2, weird movies. Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, I like that.
I really like the movie. I suppose it's weird.
It's very
It is
weird.
weird.
You suppose
I
it's
suppose.
weird.
I mean, that's when I actually knew what was going on the whole time. So
It still doesn't mean it's not
I
weird.
suppose it doesn't. But
He has Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He knows what's going on. It doesn't make any less
It
weird.
just doesn't make any sense.
He knows what's going on. So, Okay, well that was good. Blake, anything else? Meat.
Awesome soundtrack, man.
I remember watching that as a teenager, and that was a fucked up film.
It was screwed up,
Yeah.
but it's a great soundtrack.
The
too.
soundtrack.
Great music, great soundtrack. Weird as hell, yes, but weird on a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, well, weird
Or if
doesn't
you're
mean
on
bad.
acid, one or the other.
Morris, what's your number 2?
This one I kind of got weird and artsy. It won an Oscar
Serbian
in
film.
1972. Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie. It was a Mexican film in French, Surrealist by Louis Buñuel, and it's about this group of upper class people who are trying to have a meal, and they can't because weird things keep stopping them. Like they go to a restaurant and one of the waiters dies. I can't remember the other. There's all kinds of just weird things that just happen whenever they try to eat a meal, but it's about them just going place to place,
Just find a
trying
meal.
to eat a meal, and then something terrible happens to stop them. Like once people break in with guns and shoot the place up, and some guy reaches up from under the table to try to grab some food because he's been trying to eat this whole movie. It's just incredibly weird. It's about the indifference of the upper class, kind of, is in the surrealist kind of way, but it's...
Is it kind of like Seinfeld when he was waiting to get into the Chinese restaurant?
No, you don't really know that it's like the stuff that's happening is so weird that you forget that they're trying to eat until the very end, and then you're like, oh, they've been trying to eat a meal the whole time and they really haven't gotten to it. But
That was
it's
not on
worth
anyone
watching.
else's list?
I
Oh, my list is already done.
Oh, sorry, Jeff. Your number 1. Go ahead and ruin my number 1.
Blue Velvet.
Oh, I had the other one. Okay, go ahead.
I liked Blue Velvet.
I cannot lie.
I like Blue Velvet. It starts with finding an ear in a field. And,
Fuck Heineken. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
and
that
then
with
there's
Dennis
just
Hopper?
Dennis Hopper, Isabella Rossellini, Laura Dern, and
Laura Dern.
just this dichotomy of this happy town, and then the Dennis Hopper bad guy on top of it. It's like, I had in my head it was
Twin Peaks meets Dune meets the
Dune.
Joker from Batman.
Oh, I'm sorry, are you just throwing out David Lynch movies?
Oh, wait a minute.
it's like The Graduate if David Lynch had done The Graduate.
Did you know that David Lynch was in the running in the 80s to do Batman?
Yes.
How fucked up would that be? That would have been interesting.
He did Dune, and that wasn't weird. He did The Elephant Man, and that
Yeah,
wasn't
but
weird.
it was going to be like... He was going to be gritty, Batman was, but like, I forget the way they were going to do it. It was more like he had a trench coat and something, and it's like, what the fuck? No, just make it Batman! So, his number 1. What's your number 1, Blake?
I was going to say, he did The Elephant Man. You know who produced The Elephant Man?
Bob Barker.
No, it was,
Bob Barker.
what's his name? Young
Barnum,
Frankenstein.
Bailey.
Mel
No.
Brooks.
Mel Brooks. You know who
Really?
produced that?
I didn't.
Yeah.
I
That's a
thought
little
Bob
fun
Barker
fact.
was a good guess.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Thanks, Nick.
Unless I got it wrong.
So send
I
it to
can
us.
find out if you want me
You can
to.
find out while I talk about my number 1.
What's your number 1?
James Woods from 1980 something, Videodrome.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
You never
It's
seen that
Cronenberg,
one?
right?
I believe so.
I think so. I haven't seen it, but
I had 2
heard.
Cronenbergs that almost made
Yes.
my list. Naked
Eraserhead?
Lunch.
It is David Cronenberg.
Cronenberg did
James
Naked
Wood.
Lunch?
It's got Deborah Harry.
Cronenberg did Naked Lunch.
Yeah, I
didn't know that.
Shivers almost made my list.
Yeah, it's got Deborah Harry in it, and it's just weird. Starts off the guy's like a weird detective, and it just gets just strange. VCR out of the belly thing, and you're like, what the hell? This has just got really weird.
I'd forgotten about Videodrome. That might be Cronenberg's weirdest.
Yes.
Eraserhead was pretty creepy.
Eraserhead was incredibly creepy and incredibly weird.
Yes. I just never seen the whole thing.
But that's Lynch, not Cronenberg.
No, I know, but I'm going
okay.
through other ones.
They're almost
Is that-
synonymous.
Was that your number 1?
No. My number 1 is Lost Highway. And that is...
I've seen parts of Lost Highway.
Robert Blake is creepy in it, as he is in everything. And this is a description from IMDb. After a bizarre encounter at a party, a jazz saxophonist is framed for the murder of his wife and sent to prison, where he morphs into a young mechanic and begins leading a new life. There's your film. But it's weird, like, you don't know when it's starting, where everybody's at. As soon as you think you know what's going on, you don't. Robert Blake is scary. I can't keep saying that enough. So that was my number one. Oh, man, Lost Highway.
It's like they become two different separate people, don't they?
You
Almost
think.
with, like, no explanation whatsoever.
Yeah. I did have Clockwork Orange as an honorable mention.
Yeah,
that is weird. You're right.
I didn't think it was. I
didn't think
was
it was
talking.
weird?
I was talking to somebody and they said Clockwork Orange, and I'm like, that's not weird.
That's weird. It's
normal.
not making my top 5 weird.
Mention for me. Calm down, people.
But I mean, I still would call it weird.
I wouldn't have called it weird.
Jeff, I don't think you have any room to talk. All your picks were taken out.
So you're saying people agree with me? Apparently, you agree with me if you're putting
You
the same movies.
overvalued yours.
What is that supposed to mean?
It's late. Shout it.
And by the way, Mel Brooks was an executive producer, uncredited, on The Elephant Man.
Yes. Thank you. Because if you take a look at it, some of his recurring characters for his other movies are actually in there, like Anne Bancroft.
His
wait a
wife?
minute, she wasn't in there. Wait a minute, she wasn't in any of the movies. I'm sorry, I was thinking about somebody else.
That was The Elephant Man, not Anne Bancroft.
That was a creepy film too. Elephant Man.
Yes.
So there you go. There's your top 5. We did get a thing on Twitter. Nikki at Pumazili says hi.
Hi, Nikki.
Hello, Nikki.
Can we say hi to Stephanie McCoy?
Hello, Stephanie.
I don't know. She won't send us ask for another shout out after you kicked all the cats.
I wasn't picking on the cats. I'm just thinking it's a little weird. But hello, Stephanie. There's your shout out. So, bad idea of the week. Number 203. Jeff Morris, you might back me up on this. Taunting a ghost or an evil spirit. Of course, you're wanting it to go to your house, so maybe not.
Well, maybe not.
I think you probably
taunting
should have
it.
saved that one for the 4th.
Yeah. But he's not taunting
I
it.
can
He's
come up with-
inviting it. He's being cordial.
He is being cordial on it. So, October 4th, Miamitown Paranormal
Miamitown.
Fest. So, please
I will see
come.
you there.
We will all be there.
With bells.
Yay! And Roger says goodbye.
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 You are now leading the world of Musings of a Geek podcast network. Stay geeky, my friends.